Hi everybody, it's Miss Saltstein, and this lesson 3 in Unit 6, is all about the angles that are formed when we have intersecting lines, okay? So there are a lot of different names that we have for these angles, and that's why I included this, this sheet here in your notes, okay? We've got the alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior. We've got vertical angles, we've got corresponding angles, and we've got complementary angles, okay? And then the other one that they didn't talk about yet, but sorry, this is in my way. I am in my own way here. The adjacent angles. That's another angle pair that we want to be able to understand. Okay. So vertical angles, I think of these as the scissors. So you know how when you have a pair of scissors, when they're closed, they're like this. But then when you open them, the blades open the same amount as the handles, because that bolt in the middle kind of fixes them together. Okay. Oh yeah, and then I have this animation that can show that. So, and it doesn't matter how wide we make the angles. They're always going to have that relationship. So, you know, we could make the angles narrow like this, and it would still have the same measure, those vertical angles. And then the other thing to remember here is there are actually two pairs of these angles. So there's the first pair, there's the second pair. There's the first pair, there's the second pair, okay? And then something you might be able to see here if you turn your head to the side is that the first pair and the second pair actually are supplementary. They make a straight line together, okay? So again, these are called vertical angles, and they always have the same measure. They're congruent. Here are the parallel lines, and I'm just going to show you some of the angles that are congruent because there are a crazy number of pair of congruent angles here. These here are corresponding angles. That's what these are called. They're on the same side of the transversal, and they're both on the top side of the parallel lines. And you can see we can change how far apart the parallel lines are. We can change the angle of the red line, which is called the transversal. But whatever we do, those corresponding angles are always going to have the same measure. There's another pair of corresponding angles on the bottom. There's another on the right-hand side. Okay, so all of those are corresponding angles, and they always have the same measure. Well, I thought this would have the other ones. There are all these other angles that have those similar types of relationships too. Okay, but let's go ahead and let's just start with these vertical angles. Okay, because these are a little easier to get a handle on just because the drawing is a little simpler. So this is one of the problems from this is a quick check problem, okay? You can see the answer right there is right here. Okay, but let's talk about how to get that answer. So, where's my pen? I don't know. Okay, we use my mouse. I don't know where the pen went. If angle 1 in the picture is 63 degrees, that's right here. Okay. What is the measure of angle 3 and why? Okay. And again, that's going to be because they're corresponding angles. Look, I'm going to make this drawing look as much like that picture as I can. Ah, there we go. Okay, so if angle 1 is 63 degrees, that means angle 3 is also going to be 63 degrees. Okay, they are vertical angles. So that's that question. Let's look at one of these questions here. Actually, let me copy this, and I'm going to move it up here because we're going to need that chart right next to us when we do this problem. Okay. You do not want to look at this kind of diagram without some notes right next to you. Okay, this is a problem from your practice, and it says M and N are parallel, and angle 1 is 35 degrees. 135 degrees, excuse me. What is the measure of angle 8? So angle 1 here is this nice wide obtuse angle, and they've told me it's 135 degrees. Angle 8 is way down here. That's what we're trying to find. Okay, so I'm going to look at my diagram, and I'm going to look and see if I can find one where I've got the top left angle in the first set of angles and then the bottom right angle in the second set. So this one, no. This one, if you look at angle 1 and angle 2, it does kind of look like my picture. Okay, look at this one. These angles are both on the inside of the parallel lines. So this one's a no. These are both on the inside, so I'm saying no to that one. This next one, they're on the outside, but I don't want this angle here. I want this angle here. So I'm going to say no to that one. Vertical angles, these are not vertical angles. The vertical angle with angle 1 would be angle 4. And then the vertical angle with angle 8 would be angle 5. So that one's not going to help me. Corresponding is only when they're on the same side of the line. So that's not going to help me. Complementary is for angles making a right angle. That's no help. So I think this one is the winner. Okay, not only does it pretty much look like my drawing, only smaller, none of the other ones looked anything like it. So now I'm going to read this. So this says the pairs of angles located outside the parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. That's what I've got. These angles are congruent. Okay, congruent, what does that mean? It means same size, same shape. Okay, you guys, this is the symbol that's used to say something is congruent. It's an equal sign with a little tilde on top. Okay, and it means, yeah, they're equal. Okay, but specifically they have an equal measure of degrees. So I'm going to say 135 degrees. All right, and that's about all we've got in this lesson. Make sure you download this and use it.